What's up, brick builders? Today's build is the Millennium Falcon. This is set number TRUFALCON-1. Year it came out was 2016, age group 6 plus, and it's got a piece count of 44. Hello folks, Sean from BRIT'N Bricks. Welcome to another build video, and yes, it's another Falcon. Yay! True Falcon, so obviously it's TRU Toys R Us. So this was a promotional item in Canada and US. Available in the US, it was for May the 4th in 2016. And also it was available as, and I didn't know this, I didn't know Poland had a Child Day. What? I'm probably the only person who didn't know that, but apparently this was available at Toys R Us in Poland for Child Day. Cool. And then, of course, we have France. It was available in France. It was available for May the 19th, and that was for the release of, well, it was a promotion for the release of the Star Wars film Solo. Regardless, them showing and giving away the original trilogy Falcon, you know, before all the bits and pieces have been changed on it and the colors have been changed on it and stuff like that. Yeah, so this is like the episode 4 New Hope Falcon, as opposed to, even though it was supposed to be promoting Solo, which obviously is not the same style Falcon, because there's the cargo piece missing and everything like that that's in between the prongs. Yeah, not quite sure if that was a mistake or not, because the Solo Falcon looks quite good actually. I kind of like it. It definitely shows when you see the Falcon and you got the two prongs that there's the gap in between. It looks like there is something missing, but yeah, I think that's like the cargo they had to dump while being hunted by Jabba the Hutt. I think it was. No, it wasn't Jabba the Hutt. It was somebody else. And I think it was when he was doing the Kessel Run. Anyway, sidetracked. MC, can I borrow your crown? I'll put that on there, and the sidetrack thing. Anyway, super cool build. I mean, actually, it's very chunky for a Falcon. I'll let you guys make up your mind on what you think it looks, or how it looks. I don't think it's the best one, miniature one that I've built, but you do get some pretty cool parts with it. Let's dive in and build it before I get sidetracked again. Okie dokie. We got some instructions. I actually found these. I think this was just somebody who was showing a picture of the instructions, but it's only the first page of the instructions. So it just gives you the all the way up to the top layer. And I mean, it's kind of goes without saying, it's a dish and it's some guns, so it's pretty easy to put together. Anyway, we're going to start off with a circular 6x6 light bluish grey plate. And on the back end here, so we're going to put this as the back end. I'm going to turn that around. This is going to be the back end here, but for the sake of the instructions, I'm seeing this back end is at the top here. We're going to put these quarter curved 3x3 plates, dark bluish grey, on the back end. I'll put those there like that, and then we're going to put a 2x3 plate in the middle, just like that, and then two 1x2 plates, one on each side here, light bluish grey as well, like that. So you get a lot of cool pieces, like a lot of curved plates, a lot of circular plates, and also a lot of angled plates and wedged bricks, which is really cool. I'm going to do the engines next. So those are going to be these trans light blue cylinders. We're going to have two in the center, so one on each side there, like that. And then we're going to go to these studs here. So we're going to miss out this one here. All will be revealed. So we're going to put one there. See that? So you've got that gap there. And there. And then we're going to take a lantern brick, light bluish grey, and a 1x1 trans light blue plate and put that on the lantern brick. I kind of like the look of that. So we've got 2 of those. And then those are just going to go next to these cylinders on the outside here, just right next to it. And you can see that it kind of gives that arc of the sublight engines going around the edges of the back of the Falcon there. So that's kind of clever. That is kind of clever how they did that. That is kind of clever. And then we're going to build the inside up here. So we're going to put a 1x2 black brick just behind the center engines there. Then we're going to put a 2x4 black brick right in the center there. And then another 1x2 black brick at the front there. So we've got this black cross in the middle. And then we're just going to put some snot bricks. So with the 2 studs on the side, 2 studs on the top, and that's it. No 2 studs on the other side. So it's only one side. And pop that on there. And you want the studs on the outside, because you're going to put the cockpit on this one and the little docking hatch on this one here. So there's our docking hatch. It's a 2x2 circular tile, and this is period correct. It has the stud hole and not the cross in the bottom, and you just go pop that on there like that, and that's our docking bay or docking ring. Yeah, docking port. And then we're going to take these 3x3 curved plates and we're going to go over the top. So that seals the back end in nicely, like that. And next is, we're going to do the same thing with the 2x3 plate here, and that causes that little indent or alcove in the middle. So we're going to put a 2x3 there. You can see the alcove there. And then again 1x2 plates on each side, like that. And now we're ready for the prongs. So the prongs are with the 2x4 angled plates. You got quite a few of these. You got 2 of each side, which is really, really nice. And we're going to put the 2x3 wedge brick, and that's going to go on top like that. And as you can see, kind of gives that nice little change of shape there. And we've got 1 stud there, and that is for a 1x1 light bluish grey brick. And then on top of that, we put the right side 2x4 angled plate again, and you got this nice little curve in here on the sides. And then that's just going to fit right on this stud here, and the same thing on this stud here. So we're going to do this again. Like that, a little 1x1 and the plate, and then we'll put that prong on there. And right now, as it stands, they are pretty easy to pop off, so just be careful with that. But we're going to lock those in place right now with the 6x6 circular plate. And you want to line the studs in the center here. You want to line the studs with your hatch. So bring it over and drop it down. And mind you, when I tried taking this apart for the build, it's a solid build and doesn't like to fall apart. So there you go. You see you got the studs there in line with your hatch. And then we're going to put a 4x4 on top. So you want to line these studs on the side here with the center line again. Move it in 1 stud and drop it down. And there you go. And then we're going to pop another one underneath. So again, this time you're looking at the tubes on the bottom, and you want to line them up with that little half tube there, like that, and then push down. There you go. It is a really, really chunky Falcon. Right, now we want the cockpit, and this piece is still on there. So as you can see, we took a 2x2 plate off the bottom of the 2x2 light bluish grey slope brick. I'll pop that on underneath. So the plate is going to be underneath that slope brick. And then you want the bracket plate. And the bracket plate is going to go over the back of that sloped brick, like that. So you got the slope on one side, and then you got the bracket plate overhanging the flat piece of that slope brick. On these studs on the bracket, you're going to take a black R5D4 protocol droid head, is what I can say. It's a black one, and just pop that on there. If you're lucky and you got the printed Falcon, because it had a printed cockpit across it. I've got a couple. You could pop that on there and it would look a little bit better than just a black cockpit. But this will work. And then we just pin the top of these studs here to the top of the plate, like so. And there's your cockpit. Let it go and go. It won't go anywhere else. It will go at the top, but then it's too high. Actually, it doesn't look too bad, but no, it's at the bottom there. And then all we've got is the guns and the dish. So the guns are dark bluish grey minifig binoculars. And we got the little circle hole underneath there. That's going to be for the 1x1 light bluish grey plate. Just gonna pop that on top of that stud there. That makes it easier to locate the stud into that hole there in between the 4 studs. It's got to go in the center there. There's a hair. Oh well. It's easier to locate it than putting in the single stud itself. And then the dish, we've seen this before. Got the little minifig accessory here, which is like a fire hydrant hose. It's a water tap. Period correct, it did not have the hole in the spout. There is no hole in the spout. 2 variations of this, one with a hole in the spout, one without. And then we're going to turn the dish inside out. We want the curved piece on the back there, and you just go push that spout into the dish like that, and there you go. Push it all the way through, and you get this nice little circle inside there. That's kind of a nice little touch. And then we're just going to pin it onto this stud here on the side, like so. And there you have this chunky Millennium Falcon. It's not too bad. I think it's just a bit thick. I do think it's a little bit thick. You probably could slim this down. I know using these 2x3 plates instead of this brick here, and just use 2 of them. So it would be plates, and you go 2 plates high instead of 3 plates high. That might slim it down a bit. That means that you'd have to change these into plates as well, which is no big deal. But you can see the cylinder there, and then the plate, and then the 2 cylinders, and then the plate and the cylinder actually kind of works pretty well to get that little curve, I think. I mean, would it look okay with the cylinders? Yeah, it probably would. But this just brings it out a little bit more than what a cylinder would, being set back in there. A little bit bland on top. You don't have the iconic exhaust ports, which you probably would be able to put 2 there, and 1 there, and 1 there maybe. Yeah, they probably didn't feel that there was enough room there. That's possibly true. I mean, you could have 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. That might look a little bit of a better grouping. But yeah, it's not bad. You got some really cool pieces with this, though. That's the best thing about this, I think, is the really cool piece, the cool pieces. And also, I still think Poland and Child Day, that's cool. There we go, folks. You can see it is a chunky model. And it's a fairly decent size as well for display. This kind of looks like, what was that? That place, was it Play School ones? that they did the Play School minifigs, and it was the chibi figures and stuff. They were all kind of like stocky, and then you got the little stocky ships as well. I think that kind of reminds me. Also, this is close to being Microfighter as well. I think we're edging towards Microfighter. There you go. You can see the engine's much better in there, and that looks pretty good. Folks, if you enjoyed the video, you want to see some more content like this, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share amongst your friends, family, and anybody else who you think would be interested in this kind of content. Also, put your notifications on so you don't miss us in the next one, and also the magazine reviews. Yes, there's some coming up. I'm Sean from BRIT'N Bricks. Peace.